fourth bout of the afternoon. Entering the cage first into the red corner, Marcus Stephen.
This is Battle Arena. Champions will collide. We have 6 title fights on the show, Marty. 6.
6 title fights. That's a hell of a lot of title fights here, Chris.
If you came to Battle Arena and you paid your 30 quid to get in, that's only 5 quid a title fight, and then all the other fights are free.
And you just know that in every title fight, they're going to give every single, anything of energy they have. Really, let's be honest.
Definitely, definitely. This should be a really exciting fight. Both these guys skilled, talented, on their way up. They're looking for title fights, these guys, so expect some high-level action.
Fourth bout of the night. The last 3 have been exciting, really energetic. And I expect the same thing from these guys in the featherweight division at 66 kilos. And it seems to be a very good matchup between Marcus Stevens and Marius Falch.
I love the lightweight guys. They got cardio for days. The heavyweights, if there's not a knockout in the first 30 seconds, they just have a little cuddle and lay on each other. The lightweight guys, action.
And his opponents into the blue corner, Marius Falch.
All the way from Norway, Marius.
From ILA MMA Gym.
There's too many letters in that name. ILMA, P, FD, MMA, CD.
Yeah, from Marcus Stevens from LDMMA and Marius Falch from ILA.
There's a lot of letters. LD is Lion's Den. Lion's Den old school used to be like Ken Shamrock and those guys. I feel like they're not affiliated.
It's quite a history there, isn't there, Chris?
We saw Dan earlier today out of Lion's Den. Won a really, split decision in the end, but won against Bakhtar earlier tonight. Put on a bit of a performance with his athleticism. Well, we had the same from Marcus from Lion's Den.
This is what I like in MMA is you have your gyms, which are, for example, you have your gyms that are known for grappling, or you have your gyms known for striking. However, it's down to the individual. They could be a very, very good striker coming from a grappling gym, but they're fighting out of that gym because they needed to work on their grappling.
I always found it's almost like it finds you kind of, your body fits something a lot better. Like, I've done years and years of striking. I love striking, but I'm not a naturally athletic person or explosive person. And jiu-jitsu or grappling is a lot more strategic than it is athletic. And I'm a naturally quite a tactical person, so it suits me really well. So a lot of guys do MMA, and then they go off and they do just Muay Thai or just jiu-jitsu because they find the bit that they love.
Introducing again the fighter in the red corner, weighing 66.1 kilograms, fights out of LD Fighters, Marcus Stephen. And his opponent, the fighter in the blue corner, also weighing 66.1 kilograms, fighting out of ALA MMA, Marius Falch.
Marcus in the plain black trunks, Marius in the red and black. Marius got tattoos as well, makes it easier.
Well, I think it's part of their culture over in Norway to have tattoos.
It's like the kind of monstrous beast from Norway, the Viking.
What I like about these Norwegian guys, they always look very relaxed when they come into the cage.
Oh, lovely leg catch and takedown, very well timed. Clear coaching from the Lions Den guys, I like that. His coach is asking him to pass that butterfly hook, hold the foot, which is exactly what he's just done, and executed what his coach told him. That's a sign of a mature fighter. Can make such a difference listening to your coach. All that experience sat there.
However, now he's wrapped his arm over the head. Which
that is a mistake, but maybe he wants to sit back for a guillotine. Maybe this is something he gets in the gym a lot. He's kind of baiting Marius into coming onto his knees so he can sink this guillotine in it. If he taps him with that, I'm going to say I called it. Sadly not.
Ooh, a nice push kick there to the leg. Don't see that very often.
Oh, landed a head kick there.
Very quick here from Marcus Stevens.
Very impressive. Marcus' striking. He's very relaxed and then super sharp with it. Nice little lead, kind of side kick to the leg, John Jones style. He got told off with the oblique kick. Oh, huge takedown.
Marcus being very dominant here at the start of round 1.
Marcus's athleticism is very impressive. He's moving well, super fast with those kicks. Landed that head kick, huge takedown.
I don't know if Marius is trying to go for sort of guillotine, but however, it exposes him to the Von Flue choke.
It does, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world to me as a grappling coach, where you see someone go for this guillotine from the bottom of side control. He's kind of just trying to turn it into a Marcella team with a high elbow. It still seems really optimistic. It does have half guard now, so it means it's possible to get this guillotine, but if it was my student or it was myself, I would let go of that choke and defend the position first. But maybe this is something that Marius catches people with in the gym, and he wants to put it into action here.
I mean, you've got to be careful that he doesn't burn out his arms, especially it being round 1 of the fight. You know, you've got 2 more rounds.
Yeah, this is the problem with squeezing chokes. I mean, he does have a nice angle on it now. It is under the chin, it's looking a little bit of an angle, but oh, great job of stepping round to side control by Marcus, which is going to keep him safe from the choke. Now, what Marcus needs to do is, like you said, the Von Flue position. So drive his left shoulder into Marius's face, and it will make it really hard for Marius to do anything with that choke. But he's winning the round. He's landing punches to the body on top, doing a little bit of damage, not blowing himself out.
Yeah, I'd have to give the first round to Marcus there.
Comfortably, I think.
I think the referee might come over to Marcus and talk to him about using that kick to the top of the knee. Yeah, it is only amateur. I don't think it's actually illegal to use it amateur, but however, it's frowned upon because it is only amateur and how much damage you can
The oblique
cause.
kick.
It's straight to the knee,
Yeah.
yes.
We're not trying to do permanent damage here. This is a step up to pro, so we don't want to injure each other to the point where we can't, have those aspirations of moving up to the UFC and Bellator and the Cage Warriors and Bama. So throwing kicks that are going to straighten out someone's knee, we kind of, it's definitely frowned upon. I think it's actually against the rules.
Not to mention, you wouldn't want to see a fight end just because of a kick like that.
No.
Bending someone, causing such a permanent, long-lasting kind of injury.
I think Marcus was dominating the striking and the grappling in that round, so be interesting to see where he wants this fight. Will Marius come back strong? Oh, Marius shot. That surprised me.
Nice body kick there from Marius.
Both guys have some thunderous kicks.
Nice right hand there by Marcus.
Oh, great body kick, but Marius timed it and caught it, but I think it might have stung him a bit. Just have a little red welt on the side of his body now. Oh, he did that catch and takedown. Did it in the first round and the second round now.
Beautifully
Marius has
executed.
got that bottom headlock position again. It's just frustrating for us as spectators because you can stall out a round by just holding onto the head, which is what he's trying to do. And I think that Marcus might be able to just slide his head out. Maybe he's sweaty now. And Marius he does have half guard, which means sometimes you can finish guillotines. But with these big gloves, with the sweat, it's going to be really difficult to do. And sometimes you get a false sense of what works, because in the gym, somebody will tap to that because it's just in the gym, we're just training. But here, people will go a little bit longer, be a little bit braver, and it just doesn't work.
Talking about how the guillotine works might help some of our spectators, is you're bending the head forwards into your arm, which can't really be fully done in half guard. It's very difficult to anyway.
No. And even now, he's kind of in the bottom of mount with a guillotine, which is a really unusual position in MMA, to be honest. Usually, he's got some strong arms. There we go. Marcus finally slid out of that headlock position. This will allow him to work. Now, again, we're seeing from Marius, he's a bit of a survival expert. He's trying to use those double underhooks, that bear hug, just to keep his head close to Marcus's chest. And it will mean that Marcus can't get ground and pound going. But now he's made a little bit of space. And Marius times his bridge really well to bring Marcus forward and then be able to hold him to stay safe. But Marius isn't, at the moment, trying to escape. He's close to the cage. He could get his feet on the cage, bridge, drive away, but he's not doing any of that right now.
It's been grapevined by Marcus as well, which is a very restricting position.
So, and you can see the big red welt on the side of Marius on that kick earlier on. Powerful kicks from Marcus earlier in this round. Now he's got the ground and pound going. Marius has got to time this. Sometimes when a guy's really trying to swing on the ground and pound like Marcus just was, they're moving their weight around. That's the time to try and escape. Marius is close to the cage. He gets his feet to the cage. This is an odd way of getting up, that kind of power underhook almost a little bit.
No, what I'd like to see now is Marcus stepping back and just throwing a kick straight off the scramble.
I'm impressed by Marius' defense. He's a durable guy. He knows how to survive. He's obviously been training a long time, but we just need a little bit more offense from him. Now Marcus is swinging for the fences and kind of hitting them at will.
It's a very good second round, to be fair. The second round there, I think, again, was Marcus's round. He got into mount. He landed some ground and pound. He landed some good strikes standing. It's a quite dominant fight here.
I think Marius is possibly the more tired of the two as well, because they're holding on to those guillotines, holding on to that bear hug. These are exhausting positions. It's like grappling and when you're losing grappling, it's exhausting. When you're winning, it's actually quite effortless. That's what people don't understand.
Exactly, and all that lactic acid that builds up in your forearms when you're holding on to that guillotine, your arms are going to feel super heavy, so trying to throw any sharp strikes is going to be very difficult.
And when you first start a grappling class, you first start Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the first few months are just horrendous because every session is so hard. Then you get a little bit of technique down, and then you get to a certain level where sometimes you don't even work that hard the whole class. I do anyway. Unless you're there, then it's a bit harder. 10%. See, Marius is straight on the back foot again. I think he's allowing Marcus to kind of dictate the fight. I have been impressed by Marius' kicks though. He does have some big power. Also does Marcus.
Marcus' leg kicks are beautiful.
He's got the timing of him now. He's just kind of coming out of the way of Marius' kicks and then landing his own. Once again, I'm surprised he got a huge takedown. I was about to insult his takedown. I apologize, but he's ended up in that super frustrating headlock, but I think Marius has already given up on it. He's been listening to my advice, taken my DVD course on not holding the head in the bottom of side control.
Marcus now smiling and just throwing some...
I think he's just working on his highlight reel now.
Oh, he's got the arm...
Does he have an arm triangle?
No,
He's looking set up. Oh, Marius did a good job of recognizing it and slipping out.
Obviously, I'd like to see Marcus using that grapevine to control the arms a little bit, and then coming up to land some ground and pound. And using the hammer fist instead of those straight punches. The hammer fist, you don't have to move as much weight around.
Oh, Marius, in an attempt to escape, ended up giving up his back, and there's a terrible position when you're flattened out like this on the mat. It's really uncomfortable. Marius is doing a good job of turning his hips to the side. Might be able to maybe end up in the bottom of the mountain again. Marcus is looking to sink that choke in. The problem is these giant padded gloves. When I say giant, I know they're not boxing gloves, but grappling-wise, they feel giant. You can make it so hard to get your hand under their chin. Oh, great ground and pound. Use the angle well. Now he has the arm triangle again. Oh, he's got it all cinched up. Now what Marcus needs to do is step over to the side, step over to his right. Oh, he's given up on the arm triangle. It almost looked like he didn't want to go for the arm triangle. He knew he was in a winning position, didn't want to sacrifice this mount position to try and get a submission. And he's winning the whole fight, looking at his coach, almost in deep conversation with him. Winning this round comfortably now.
I think he's hunting for a ground and pound finish here. Yeah,
I think he might want a KO or a referee stoppage. But once again, Marius' defense is really good. He watches too much Bear Grylls. He's all about the survival. He's a survivalist. Doesn't want to escape, just wants to last.
He's got 25 seconds left in this fight. Dominating performance here by Marcus Stevens.
It depends on your style. If I was Marcus, I would know that it's going to be hard to finish the ground and pound in the last 20 seconds. I would spin for an armbar, something. He's won the round easily. it's worth having a shot at trying to finish this fight.
Yeah, it's always good to get a finish on your record. Although it is only amateur, so therefore the records
But
are...
a lot of these amateurs are trying to build up highlight reels. They're trying to... Oh, he's going big in the last 10 seconds. Marius is trying to escape. We go to the judges' scorecard. Seems a little bit unnecessary. Fantastic fight. Great performance there. And a huge sign of respect between the two guys. But that was Marcus's fight all night.
Right, Marius is a tough guy. You know, some guys would have definitely given up there and, you know, faced a loss there.
That's what we call a one-sided ass whooping.
Yeah.
I don't want to insult Marcus, but he doesn't look crazy athletic. He looks reasonably athletic. He doesn't look crazy athletic.
But
He doesn't look like he's going to slam people on his head or throw crazy head kicks. But Jesus, he can move.
That's the dangerous thing with these up-and-coming MMA fighters. They look very nice. And on the streets, they do look very nice. However, they are super dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, must have been an easy weight cut for him. Only 66 as well. Very impressive.
So after 3 great rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. And we have your winner by unanimous decision for the fighter in the red corner, Marcus Stevens. And please make some noise for your runner-up, Marius Falch. Marcus, come and have a chat, buddy. Impressive win. How do you feel about it all?
Feel great. I've trained hard for this. Oh.
Tired.
I'm happy with the performance. Back to training on Monday.
So it was a tough one on the floor a little bit. He had you in a couple of guillotine attempts. Was any of them close?
No. None of them were on. I was just waiting there to burn his arms out and show he's fired. Ground and pound.
Okay, yeah, strong ground and pound, especially when you got the mount towards the end of the second and third round. Is that your game plan going in?
The game plan was actually strike, stand strike from close. I did a little bit of that, but I felt I was much stronger than him, so take down, dominant position on the ground. And there you go.
And got the win, yeah. So it was a good win. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it one more time for your winner, Marcus Stevens.